All right, everybody. Welcome to another amazing Monday afternoon. Well, Monday morning, I guess, still a little bit, depending on where you are, but it's afternoon here officially. I was going to come on earlier, but OBS was not having anything to do with it. We had audio issues, and I had drivers to update, so here we are. Again, Monday, the 26th of May. Hope you're having an amazing day. I think most people are off doing the Bitcoin conference this week, so it might be a little slacked on online traffic, but I'm sure that there's going to still be a lot of streams out there. So I figured I'd jump on this morning and go over a couple of things. I'm sure there's still going to be lots of people trading, even though everybody's in Vegas having a blast right now. All right, so small time frame Bitcoin. In the group, we've been looking at this little bit of a rising wedge here. We were looking at this smaller pattern inside of it, looking to see which way it was going to break this morning. Of course, we originally started with this idea, and in small time frames, you have to change with the patterns. So once we saw a double top, we switched to this idea. We dropped back down to our lower line here, and we held and broke back up top. And so now we're kind of watching to see if we're going to hold momentum and push. So, I mean, when you're looking at the bigger time frames and you see a wedge like this, you're going to be a lot more confident in the exact line that you make. But in the smaller time frames, you're going to push below it or push above it. And you're going to have to adjust and make a new plan and just follow along as you go, right? Small time frames are a lot different than high time frames. On the high time frame in Bitcoin, we were looking at our curve idea. It had broken out. We were looking for it to hold this area. I think back here I had posted in the group, said we're looking for this curve to hold. And so far we've been bouncing off of it and holding. And the last time we broke through our triangle idea here, and we're pushing on upward momentum, which of course is causing for alts to not do what we want them to do. I think everybody wants alts to run, but obviously we're going to have to wait a little bit. Bitcoin is going to keep doing what Bitcoin likes to do. Shout out to everybody that's with us in the group, and shout out to everybody that's with us in the chat today. I'm really grateful for all of the people that came to join us, and I hope you're having an amazing start of your week. I think we're going to see some exciting stuff happen this week. I can't decide what it's going to be on yet. Obviously, we're all banking on alts, but right now, dominance is not letting that happen. Dominance is in this big rising wedge. It has been for a long time. Everybody really wants to see it break below, give us our alt season, but it gave us this little fake out, and it's pushing right back up again. So we have to be patient with the alts right now. And we've reclaimed our 50. So, I mean, yeah, dominance is pushing. There's nothing we can do about it. What we want to see is alts hold this line and break up through the top of it. Last week, we talked about this small pattern we were consolidating in, and we said we want to see alts hold this level and push up higher. So we did see that happen, but again, it's still in a rising wedge. We're not seeing super bullish momentum right now. We're just seeing this slow climb for alts. So if Bitcoin keeps being a menace and then we see a pullback, maybe we get a double bottom on some of these altcoins. We're kind of climbing in a rising wedge here. We drop out. We're going to see a pullback. Doesn't mean that alts aren't going to go. It could be exactly what we need for alts to go. So we take it level for level here. dollar dropping. It has been dropping since we drew this line and said we were looking at a pullback. So we're watching for that to happen all the way down to this idea. So far, so good. I mean, we probably couldn't have gotten that any better. The Dow is recovering as expected. Everybody gets in a big panic. But, I mean, we all knew that this was going to happen, V-shaped recovery. The question is, do we recover, get above this 200 and continue to run? Or do we slack off here and run sideways and actually enter some type of a bullish or a bearish situation? Sorry. That's kind of what I'm wondering, is if we just kind of start to roll over a bit here. We see something like that happen again. Not saying that we will see that, but it's a slight possibility. We just range for a while before we make that next push to those higher levels. It's pretty common. If that happens, though, we have to consider, seeing these levels again, see another vicious pullback. So that's something you have to watch right now. Same thing with the 500. We're talking about the exact same situation. We were back into this. Oh, we've actually started falling out now, pushing down below. Again, I mean, that doesn't mean we're going to roll over here, because price history says that we're going to recover and keep pushing forward. But the odd time we run into a situation where we do consolidate. So we really have to consider something like that happening right now. Okay, so I shared this online with everybody. This is what I have right now. Long-term, high time frame Bitcoin. We have this upper area here where we have never broken through, and we're coming up here to test this area again. So we have two options. We get rejected here, we pull back, hopefully bounce on this and then run, but ultimately could break through the bottom of it and come down and retouch these levels. Or the other option is we break up above this area, and if we can break up through this, everybody is going to go insane over Bitcoin, and we will see some magical hyperbolic run. But we have never broken this, ever. So it's a pretty big deal at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th time we've tried on this trend idea. If we do break above it, it's going to be very, very bullish. For Bitcoin, not for alts. I mean, alts might run with it, but in order for this to happen, there's going to be a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin. If Trump tweets, anything can happen, most definitely. Now, I don't know, because I do like to consider the idea that we can use TA to front run what Trump is going to say. I mean, at this point, all I can say is if we touch this red area, Trump is probably going to come on and tweet something. But I bet you he doesn't tweet until we touch the red area now. That's the great debate. Do the charts make the news, or does the news make the charts? All right, so this line here, again, so this is how I'm breaking stuff down on the smaller time frames. Originally, we had this line drawn. We come down and we get a bounce on it. but then we do fall through. Then you have to extend your pattern idea. You're on smaller time frames. So now we're looking for us to come up, push these levels, and maybe we fall back down to this area again. Slightly pull below it, and then we have to adjust, change our plan and our idea because we're sitting on small time frames. And that's how you have to do things when you trade small time frames. On the daily, you make an idea and you better stick to it for a month or two because that's how long it's going to take to play out. But if you're in the 3-minute or the 12-minute or the 1-minute, that's going to be a different situation. Your time is very, the time frame you choose is going to change how you need to think. What do you guys think? Do you think we're gonna push up through this red line and go super bullish, or do you think everybody's gonna get faked out? I mean, that gives us 120. Everybody's talking about the 120 level, right? That gives us our 120. If we push up through here, rising wedge into our 120, maybe we just break it. Everybody gets excited. Bitcoin rolls. Altcoins go to space. Everyone gets caught off guard. And then within 3 months, it all goes back to normal and nobody knows what happened. That's, that's how it always goes, right? Speaking of Trump, the Trump coin situation did really well for a little bit. Now I have to wonder if it dies because the dinner's over. I even posted this in the group because the last time I posted this setup idea, we ran really well and we had a nice run on it. But then I saw this big pattern and I thought, well, if this coin's going to have any justice, this line's going to have to hold. And now we're breaking through. We're gonna do the death cross here, potentially, unless it pushes up. Do you think this coin is just dead now because the dinner's over? Buy the hype, sell the news, right? That was it. Nice big old announcement somewhere around here that there's going to be a big Trump dinner, and then the big pump, and then the dinner happens, and the coin disappears. Yeah, exactly, Jesse. You literally have to constantly adjust your thought pattern. You can't get stuck on any one idea. That's 100% right. There's committing to a trade, and then there's having Jiminy Cricket step in your head and tell you that you're absolutely wrong and not having the confidence to change your mind. Because again, it is very hard to get used to committing to an idea, and that's one of the things that people challenge with is committing to a plan and sticking with it. But that also comes with the understanding that sometimes you're wrong and you have to realize it and leave that situation. Yeah, I agree. I kind of think HRJ, I'm thinking the same thing. That's what they always do, right? They're going to fake us out, and then everybody's going to swap their bags, do all that crazy switching in a big panic, all emotional, and then boom. I mean, that's how it has to go. Bitcoin can't grow if everybody wins. People have to get destroyed in this market, so as long as we're not thinking like them, we'll be okay. Yep, that's a big one too. Especially if you're scalping, Jesse. That's a big one. Um, swing trading and even longer term hold ideas on spot. It's not a big deal sometimes to cut your losses because some people plan on dollar cost averaging in. But if you're in and you're scalping, getting out when you're wrong is the hardest thing to learn. Everybody can have a great idea and be right, but sometimes you're not right on entry, and if you try to ride it out too long, it will take everything from you before it does what you knew it was going to do. So when I do scalp trading, sometimes I will have 4 or 5 different trades that I close out at somewhere between a $2 to a $25 loss, and then I'll make my $200-300 trade. It takes a few losses, cut fast, to catch that win. It's good. You're kind of like you're preloading. You're paying in your wages and your fees for the day, and then finally, after you've calculated it enough and you've caught it, you can get your money. But that comes with you cutting your losses fast. You just make an entry and ride it out. Your wallet's empty, and then exactly what you thought was going to happen happens. Do you guys scalp? Are you scalpers? Or are you kind of like swing traders? Or I do a bit of everything. Like so, I'll scalp Bitcoin. Um, but then what I usually do is I'll also have that saved by I'll do some hedge betting on another account. So if I'm longing aggressively somewhere on one account, I'll kind of short a bit on the other and just kind of hedge myself. But then I also have swing trades going that are a bit more long term idea, and then I have bots trading. So I've kind of really diversified how I trade. I'm never going for the giant move. Sometimes you get them just because you're lucky, but I'm never going for the big moves, never going for the 1,000%. I'm just clocking in small gains, taking my profits and moving them. And I actually move a lot of my crypto profits. At the end of the year, I'll pay off my taxes and everything. I get everything dealt with, and I'll move a lot of my crypto stuff into my actual stocks. And then I start trading stocks with that profit. Full swing. Hey, swing trading is great. So we like 1 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour time frame kind of thing. Yeah, that's a great style. There's good money in there. I mean, scalping you have to spend so much time and so much attention, right? You have to be at your computer watching the price action. You have to be drawing squiggly lines every 3 seconds to make sure you're right. You have to be checking your indicators. It's so nice to check out like a daily or a 6 hour chart and say, okay, I'm going to see a 30% move here, and then dollar cost average into that and walk away. It's a very, very good way to trade. Yeah, 5 to 15 minute. Yep. Well, and that's the cool thing about that is once you get used to the time frames, you don't really have to have. I know you're supposed to set rules. You need rules, but you don't have to have as strict of rules when you get used to the time frames. I mean, you could go on in the morning and say, "Hey, 4 hour doesn't look super bullish, but the 3 minute does. So I'm going to take a quick scalp for breakfast, make 20, $30, make 150 bucks, whatever it is. And then you can step out and say, okay, but long term, I'm also going to take swing trade position over here so you can really start to use all the different time frames to your advantage. Instead of trying to get rich in one wicked awesome trade and retire, you can look at all these different situations and use your risk management to calculate where you want to put your money and slowly take a little bit from each good situation. Instead of trying to just, catch the holy grail, dig up the big golden nugget, just kind of picking away at the mountain, right? Time frames, the best way, in my opinion, Jesse, to master the time frames, I used to spend a lot of time sitting in the 1 minute to 10 second on Bitcoin or something that has volume because you actually want to see the candles. You don't want to watch something that has no volume and just see flat lines. Because what you'll find is all the same patterns that play out on the daily play out on that 1 minute time frame. So if you can watch those market cycles happen over and over again on the 1 minute time frame or the 1 second time frame even, you're watching accumulation, distribution, markdown. You're watching that whole cycle go over and over again. You can chart those patterns out. And then once you get used to that, you start looking at the higher time frames. And all you have to do is come to your computer and draw a wedge or a triangle, look at a big support resistance line, and maybe pull a fib. And it gives you a lot of confidence to say, okay, in the next 4 to 5 days. I'm expecting this move. I've seen it happen a million times on the 1-minute time frame. Again, though, you have to be considerate. The 1-minute time frame is not going to play out as you would like it to nearly as much as the higher time frames will. Higher time frames always win, obviously. Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's a good way to do it. That's kind of what you have to do right now too. We're not getting the action that we would like to see out of these markets. Um, Obviously, Bitcoin does its own thing, but altcoins are kind of just stagnant. I know they've done a big run in the past little bit here, but let's look at some alts. I'm gonna look at an old DeFi coin. I really think we're about to see some serious chaos out of alts. This is how old this group is. We were trading DOT back here. I had people in my group make a whole bunch of money on DOT back here. And now these coins have spent an excessive amount of time not moving. And they are all making amazing patterns on high time frames. They're all at the very bottom of these entry ideas. We're at the point right now where a lot of these things are either going to go to zero or they're going to go and make a super run. Now, dominance is telling us that that's very possible, that we see these things break up out of here, run up, and start to push. I really believe that that's what's going to happen soon. Problem is, it could for a year. The best thing that we can do is continue our trading on lower time frames and do what we do. But also, maybe it wouldn't hurt to have another exchange where if you see something that's nice and low, maybe we're kind of planting seeds, buying a little bit, making little side bags, because these levels are insane in my head. This is a ridiculously bullish chart. The last time we really had an alt season, we were seeing things run 10,000%. And that was back in 2020 and 2021, where we saw all of these coins. Again, same thing. We were here for all of this. And now I'm not saying that all these coins are going to make all-time highs, but what I'm saying is that all of these coins are now in the same pattern. They're consolidating big time. They're way down at these lows. So it's either going to go to zero or this is the time to be scaling into things, right? This is the time to be maybe aggressive as a trader or a buyer. And as a person that trades small time frames, the great thing about that is at this point, I mean, if you were really wrong about something, and as long as you're not in, super high leverage, because if you're dealing with big leverage, that's a whole different game. But if you were just like spot trading here and you were catching these 20% runs way down here, if you were ever wrong one day and didn't want to just cut a loss and it did pull back, maybe you just decide you want to scale into that one long term for a little bit. Wait, add some down here, move on to another trade. Provided that you're using a realistic amount of your wallet. And if you're deciding to spend everything you have on something down here and it rolls over, that's a bad idea. You shouldn't be trading like that, right? So, but especially these old DeFi coins, all of these old coins just look incredible. All right, well, mind the curve. The curve's going to move slightly. Basically, we've made this big pattern here. And again, you're not going to break upward from all of these immediately. What you're on, and I said this a lot in the last couple of videos because I'm trying to get people used to that idea. You're going to see this big falling wedge and you're going to think, oh, this is it. It broke out. It's going to the moon. But that's not what usually happens. Usually it ends up turning into this longer consolidated pattern idea, right? But we've broken through those now. And we are turning to the upside. On a high time frame, we're dealing with a higher high and a higher low. That's a indicator of a trend change. That is a reversal. The next thing we are expecting is a higher high. And a lot of alts are looking like that right now. Only invest money you're prepared to lose 150%. There's two ways to come into this market. You can come into this market with $100,000 and lose all of it, or you can come into this market with $100 and double it, and then double it again and again and again. Now, the person that comes in here with $100 and doubles it up, 5 years down the road, they are not emotionally trading. The guy that comes in here and loses $100,000 in the first 3 years of his trading experience, he's going to spend the next 4 years emotionally trading, try to get his money back, whether successfully or not. So the last thing you want to do is just step into this market and spend all the money you have. That being said, back in like 2018, 2019, I was framing houses. I was running a company. A bunch of stuff went down and all of the work stopped. I took the last $1,000 that I had and I started aggressively trading Bitcoin. So I did the thing that you're not supposed to do 100%. That was me. It worked. I got lucky and I realized that I was pretty good at reading the matrix and I didn't get totally wrecked and I was able to float myself for a year or two. And then that started kind of changing things for me, started paying off debts. I realized that I was actually doing very well with it. But again, I think a big part of that is because I was the person that did start with 1,000 and I made that grow. Now at this point in my life, market hasn't taken from me. I have respected the market, not gotten greedy, and I have figured out a way to make it work for me. But I'm not sitting here down $200,000 trying aggressively to get all that back because that's the backwards way to do. I've got to work out something with the chat here, guys. I think I have to get it pulled up to a different screen. Feel disconnected that way, so I've got to work on that. ICP file. Yeah, ICP. I'm pretty sure I have here, and it's been looking really good on 3-day time frames as well. That's another one on these higher time frames that looks great. Sure that I do. I do indeed. Yeah, so I mean, ICP looks amazing. Not only do you have this giant long wedge idea, just like the rest of them, but then we have the smaller idea here. And again, we're right at the bottom. But I mean, if you've been here long enough, you know how it goes down here. When you buy something down here and it makes that small little move, it hurts. You throw $5,000 at this and you wake up the next day and you're down $3,000. But then you wake up the next day and you're up 12,000. So you just have to be patient and trust the idea, right? But no, I do agree. ICP also looks good. I mean, every time you see Market Cipher just crunching down here like that, it's due for some type of a move, right? So here we are down here and we're crunching again. I mean, do we get this move right now? I don't know, but a move we will get. The daily's looking great. We're now seeing that momentum change. That's kind of the idea beside this line I have here, right? So you're kind of seeing price continue to drive itself down. At the same time, you're seeing this push towards the upside, and then it just hits a certain point. Somewhere it just hits a certain point, and this switches, and this drives up. I'm running on 5. I think I've had Market Cipher for 4 or 5 years. It is by far the greatest tool that I have ever used. And I've built a lot of houses with some pretty nice stiletto hammers, and Market Cipher is the best tool for anything. Two screens. I wish I had two screens. I have a TV screen that I'm looking at right now, and then beside that TV screen, I have a 24-inch monitor. Then I have my laptop screen beside that, and then I have my other monitor, which is turned sideways and mounted to my wall, which is my trading and my first screen is for charting. My second screen is for all my social medias. Third screen is for my Discord and my YouTube and stuff like that. And then my fourth screen is my like sideways trading scalping screen. It's nice to have your TV on the portrait mode. Then you get the big long charts. You can see big long candles. You can see your indicators really well. So yeah, I have my 4 screens, and then I also have my tablet over here to this side sitting up, and then I have my lap. I have 2 cell phones, and usually at least one of those is always open. So I have a mess of screens here, my friend. But that's the cool thing though, is because I can be trading and charting. I can be running the Discord. I can have my screen share open in the Discord for people. Like even if I'm not around, I can open up my screen share for the Discord because I have the Nitro. So I just throw it on like 1080p, and they can go on and look at my charts all day and watch them live if they want to come on and see Market Cipher. I know everybody can't, just pull 3 grand out of their pocket and buy Market Cipher. It is a nice thing to be able to look at. So I try to have all of the screens so I can have all of the eyes, and then I can catch more of these moves for all of us to make money. But I'm not overly aggressive when it comes to like small time frame sharing setups. So in the past couple of months in the group, I basically shared the bottom of all of these alts, and then gave out ideas for the next time we would consolidate and take another run up. But I don't like in my group, I have a spot called charts where I share a lot of setups or a lot of ideas, not setups. I just share a lot of chart ideas. If you know what you're doing, they're definitely setups because I'm giving you the top and bottom ideas of everything. I'm just not coming right out and saying, buy now, sell now, because I'm not a financial advisor and I can't leave. But if you're paying attention and you're watching, you'll see exactly what's happening. But as far as coming out confidently and just saying, this is a setup, I really try to just keep that group for things over, say, the 4 to 6 hour time frame. Because anybody in the group probably has a life. They're probably doing things all day. They don't necessarily, if you're joining a trading group, you're joining it probably because you don't want to have to work constantly to find that money. So when I share a setup on a bigger time frame idea and I get you 80, 90 to 100% compared to 7% or 5%, it's a lot less work, it's a lot more reward, it's a lot less risk, and a lot more reward for you. So yeah, if you come into the group, you're gonna notice that I'm not like some of the, and I'm much respect to them. They're all doing amazing things, and it's so nice to see this community. But I'm not as quick with just sharing confident setups. I will always share all those patterns, but I'm not going to come out and share setups unless I know what's going to. So when you join the group and you see 4 or 5 setups happen in like a whole month, every one of those setups plays out for over 50% gains. There's no way you couldn't navigate that to get the money trades. and it just keeps all of the craziness out of it. Um, I can overshow these charts until you understand how they look, but sharing a setup could be like a 99% confidence. Like if you're sharing setups every day, damn well better play out, in my opinion. So that's one thing that I'm a little bit different about. You're not going to see me overshare setups. You're going to see me constantly share charts, ideas, patterns. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to show you exactly how to trade those ideas and patterns. And I do a lot of one-on-one. So if you come in the group and you join, it won't be like you're looking at this page and you're seeing all this information pop in. We sit down and we look at where you're at. We look at where you want to be, what your lifestyle is like, what your trading plan is, and then we go from there and help you get to where you want to be. As opposed to you joining the group and then you just see all this flashy lights and colors and all this action, all the smoke and mirrors that crypto is. So watch where you're going and watch what you're doing. There's some greats out there though. There are some greats. Like you got the Alexo and Casper is amazing. You got Frankie Candles. There's so many amazing people out there that are actually giving you great stuff. When I first started in this space, it was a scary space. You wouldn't trust anybody. And then all of these guys have come out now and they're actually really helping people. They're really putting the time in, and it's super, super awesome to see. Total redemption for the space. I'm really proud to see it. All right, Andrew, go soak up the sun. I am going to do the same thing here. I'm not going to soak it up too much. About an hour here. I think I'm going to stream for a bit longer and see if we see any action, but I'm definitely going out to get some yard work in. It is a beautiful day here in Canada, and I have some work to do, so that's going to happen at some point this afternoon for sure. Thanks for popping in, and enjoy it. Yes, Randy is awesome. I actually recently just found Randy, which is amazing. She's out there kicking butt, eh? She's been on the news I've seen. And apparently she got into it very young and she's been going at it for a long time. So that's super cool. When I first started doing this, I think the two people that I followed the most would have been Crypto Face and I think Tom Crown would have been there, back in like 2019, 18. Yeah, those were the guys that I watched the most, I think, at that time. Would have been yeah, Tom Crown, Crypto Face. I think Tom Crown's still going at it. Oh, you're in Ottawa. Okay. Yeah, I'm about 3 hours north of Toronto, Prince Edward County area. 100% Ontario bound myself. Yeah, he is definitely. They're all really nice now. There's a lot less sketchy car salesmen out there now, and that's what it all used to be. Um, like I used to just do the Telegram group, and that's all I had for the longest time was Telegram. I think I opened the Telegram group up in 2018, and I ran it until about 2021, 2022, without any trouble. And then it just got really hard to run it because everything got super scammy for a while. Telegram got really hard to run because of the amount of bots and scammers that would come in there. And so the groups kind of backed off, and I just started dealing with everybody one-on-one individually because it was a lot of work trying to stay on top of the scammers. And so lo and behold, after an amount of time, I just stopped doing the group, and I had about 15, 20 people that I dealt with, paid members that I dealt with one-on-one. And finally, I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this. And I started seeing people online that were doing it through Discord. And I had a Discord channel, and I had tried it a while back, but it just wasn't a thing back then. So I had made a whole Discord channel, and nobody was joining it. Nobody was using Discord. Everybody was using Telegram in the crypto space. So I kind of resurrected that idea, and I've switched over to Discord, and here we go. Yep, same here. It's been raining for over 2 weeks here. We're very happy to see the sun. And I also do some construction stuff on the side. I do docks. I help people build docks. Install and put docks in and out in on and off season. So I've been out helping people do their docks in the pouring rain for the past couple of weeks. That's okay because all of the gardens that I've got set up for this year are going to grow very well, and I'll have lots of free fruit and vegetable by the end of the season. 6:42 in the. Oh, you're over. I did not know that you were over there, Jesse. That is very cool. Yeah, no, we are mean and clean at 12:43 in the afternoon over here, my friend. Good evening to you in the Netherlands. Then that's very cool. You know, that was my favorite part about when I first started Infinite Team TA. That was my favorite part about the group. I I ended up having about 10 to 15 members very quickly, and somehow I ended up with members from all around the world. We had someone from Australia. We had someone from Japan. We had like we literally had members from all around the world. It was a super cool experience the first 2 years that I did this group. Now it was very hard to adjust the time frames. I remember talking to the one gentleman. He was very into trading at that time, and he was on a lot. And I had to adjust my sleep to Australian time so that we could get our sessions in, and that we could, so that we could get him up to where he wanted to be in the group. But that was a very cool thing, was seeing all the time frames. All right, cheers. Yeah, cheers, Andrew. And yeah, Jesse is everywhere. I'm super blessed to see him popping up in my groups because every time I'm on trying to show other people support, there's Jesse throwing out the links and keeping all the riffraff out of there. So the crypto space is definitely grateful for Jesse and people that want to try to work that hard. They're gonna see big things in their way in the future for sure. All right, let's check our other chart. We're not really doing much on a Monday, which is kind of what we expected to happen. Let's get rid of all of it. All right, look at that. Scammy Monday manipulation style stuff, right? All right. So now I'm starting to see this. All right, so there's ways to draw this out. I don't know. Maybe we do see alts do okay then for the rest of this week. I mean, if Bitcoin's just gonna pick this range again, I'm not sure if you're in the free Discord, you've seen me share this over and over again. Actually, this is the pattern we've been dealing with continuously on different time frames because you're going to see like fractal patterns in the smaller time frames to the bigger patterns or to the bigger time frames. You're going to see like fractal patterns, and that's kind of what I think we're seeing here again. Basically, every time that I've seen this lately in the past couple of weeks, it's turned into something like this. And the last time this happened, we called it out perfectly. I shared it online to brag about it just a little bit. But we said, all right, we're going to pop up through, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And we did something similar to that. I mean, we had the double top, and we came down for the double bottom. Then we broke up through. And that's exactly what happened last pattern. But again, that was on a higher time frame. So if you're looking at this, let's go back this side. Look at this. All right, so it's literally this right here. This exact thing. But now, instead of it being a bigger pattern on the 1 hour, we're looking at it way in here on a 12-minute time frame. Same pattern, the fractal. It's the exact same idea. And again, this is good for alts. If we're going to see Bitcoin run sideways and dominance go down, you're going to see alts do very well. If you don't have some type of reference or understanding of how Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin correlate with alts, you should go check that out. Join the free Discord. Ask me for it. I have PDF files on it that I would happily send you. Something that I look at before I start trading every day is where dominance is at and where Bitcoin is at. If I want to trade an alt, I don't do it without knowing those two things. Yeah, that's just it, Jesse. And I think that's the cool thing is there's a lot of people in this space now that think just like that, and they want to protect it because they see the value in it, and they don't want to see it get ruined. It's like warriors that are stepping up and saying, "All right, guys, protect yourself in the markets. The markets are great. The future is bright, but here's what you need to do to be smart about it." And then there's people out there that are like, "Oh yeah, give me your seed address, or here's my seed address. Let me scam you for everything you got." So it's like we have to step up and protect the space, or else we're gonna lose it to junk. So yeah, it's what you do very important. That's you're gonna see a lot of love for it, man. You really are, because not a lot of people are trying to exploit the space, not protect it. It's a big deal. No, they don't. No, this whole thing is for us to fight back a little bit against the big numbers, right? This is for us to neutralize ourselves against big numbers and big money. But there's always going to be people out there that are trying to abuse it, right? And it's gotten better. Um, at least the exchanges are getting safer. You still have the scammers. You still have the, hey, send me 1 Bitcoin and I'll send you 2 and all that. But the exchanges themselves are getting safer. I mean, whether we like the centralization part of it or not, it's kind of protecting us a little bit. I'm all for the fact that all I need is an email address to go on a decentralized website and trade my butt off. But then at the end of the day, when that decentralized website gets hacked and all the Bitcoin I had on it disappear, that scares people away again. So we kind of have to find a good balance where everybody is happy and everybody's safe, and it's not gotten to the point where we're just dealing with banks. Yeah, for sure, definitely. We are in price discovery. There's no doubt about it. And we're coming down, retesting. This is not the time to be messing with Bitcoin on a high time frame. If you got an idea for a scalp, sure, but you're a brave person to be trying to fight the beast right now. We just crossed again. We're curving. We are curving back up. Yes, trying. We're trying to curve back up, trying to push back up. You can even see here our little inner line has actually started arcing over. This is not going to give us our altcoins the way that we want them. But here's the idea, here's the plan. Again, if you're just joining us, here's the plan. Okay, so again, I have two different styles of charts. So that's why you're seeing different charts on the same thing. We were looking at this big falling wedge, and that was making the alts run. We said, okay, let's watch because it's gonna bounce back, try to do a bearish retest on this line. That's what's happened. Alts have kind of laid off a little bit over the course of this happening. Now we have to watch for this level to, get rejected and the dominance drop some more. I really think that we're very close. This was last altcoin season. We came up and we pushed these levels and we went super hyperbolic. We really started driving up fast for a few days. And then down we went. Altcoin season began and it was insane. This is when we saw 10,000, 15,000% altcoin. It has not happened again since. And here we are. I was expecting us potentially to rush up through again, have something hyperbolic happen, and then that fake out, and away we go down. But I mean, we've already dropped a level. So now we need to get back above this level. Dominance needs to push this line. If it doesn't, alts win, we get our wish, and alts are going to do great. If it pushes back up through here, Bitcoin's going to hit those higher levels. It's going to hit that red line we talked about. Altcoins aren't going to be ready just yet. We're going to do one last crazy move up into that maybe 120, 138 area if people are really lucky. And that's when we see the switch happen, right? Well, again, we're not there yet. When it does happen, it's going to happen fast. You're going to see it's the idea is that it happens so fast that you're not ready for it. That's the idea, is that you get locked into an idea and then that idea starts to play through just to get you confident. Everything changes so quickly and plays out so quickly that before you even got off the toilet to figure out what was happening, it was all done and you missed it. And that's what happened with the last alt season. Things started running so quickly, and by the time people realized that things were changing like that, it was too late and too gone. Only the people that were really patient caught those 10,000% runs. Everybody else was trying to catch the top and catch 200 or 300%. And a lot of them got caught at the top, rolled over into a bear market, and missed it. That's how it goes here, right? Yeah, that's another thing, HRJ. There's so many coins now that I don't know that we'll be able to push up to these levels, right? Because back here we had let's say 200 or 300 altcoins over all exchanges. I can't even imagine the number of coins that there are now. Is it even possible for us to go 70% Bitcoin dominance anymore? I don't even know if we can do that with the amount of altcoins that are spread throughout the market. So yeah, maybe we are already seeing those really pushed out top levels. There's the old sell in May thing, but what are we selling here? Are we selling all the Bitcoin and getting onto the alts, or no? It comes down to risk management, as it always does, and that's how I have my stuff laid out right now. I'm diversified enough in every place, and I'm ready to cut my losses in every place enough that I can't get wrecked. But if something plays out, I can get. That's what it always comes down to. Calculating out your risk. Well, that's like I said. This is in my opinion. Again, I'm no magical financial advisor. I've just seen this happen a few times, and in my opinion, if we're looking at these old guys, the old dinosaurs, we are at those levels. We're down here. I mean, this is chain link. Let's just delete it, and we'll just look at it as a simple idea here. I mean, there's your bottom. Either chain link's going to break through that and die, or you're about as close to the bottom as you're going to get. Now, I shared this idea on Ethereum, but it did the exact same thing. You know, I come online and I say, look, guys, we are officially touching this trend line that we have been holding for quite some time. We broke through it here. We never looked back. So when we came down and touched this, I was all over spamming Ethereum. Like, holy smokes, guys. Do you really think that we're going to break below that for anything more than a day or two just to scare people before we have a big bounce? And we didn't even get did we even get a daily that closed below it? We didn't even get a daily that closed below that line. And this was put in place long before the price action got here. But it's those big lines are what people are paying. If you pull up a chart on the 3-day time frame and you see a line like that, that's what everybody's really paying attention to. You cannot have super confidence when you go and you'll see the same patterns play out on the 1 minute, but you can't have that same kind of confidence. When you see that stuff on the 3-day, that stuff plays out. So whether that was the bottom and we disappear, which I doubt, I really do think that we range. But regardless, when the price hits a line like that, are you going to long or are you going to short? I don't want to share too much. All right, guys, I think we're well over 2 hours today. I don't want to drag it out. I am definitely going to come on tomorrow and we'll relook at some stuff. And I think what I'll do tomorrow is maybe I'm going to lay these charts out. I don't want to give away too much stuff because, you know, people are in the group paying me for my charts. So I don't want to just give them all out. But I think I'm going to lay them out. And tomorrow I'll come on and we'll redo this same style of stream. But I'll have it set up so I can give you a little more without giving you too much. I'm just getting used to the whole live stream and diversifying what I should and shouldn't share. So I think we're going to call it there for today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Well, actually, before I go, what should we do tomorrow? Should I do an earlier stream or a later stream? Might have just lost the stream. Okay, no, we're still good. We didn't lose the stream. Okay. All right, yeah. So what do you guys think is better? Like a noonish? I don't wanna step on anybody's toes, that's for sure. So yeah, noon's a good time. All right, that's what we'll do then. We'll aim for that. I'll try to come on back around noon tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to make this constant Monday to Friday. I'm just also trying to get used to other people's streams, and I don't want to be coming on and stepping on anybody that's been doing this. Um, I just got to give respect to the guys that have been pushing for it, and not try to jump on their slots. In my opinion. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what we'll do then. All right, so everybody that did join us today, I can't thank you enough. I'm so grateful, and I'm gonna get this all laid out again. We'll check it all out again tomorrow, and if anything crazy does happen, I'll pop back on. But until then, we will call it a day. And much love. Let us grow, guys. Okay. Cheers.